And I remember sobbing and reading this book, and she was very mean to me, like, yeah, continue reading because you don't know how to read. I was like, now thinking of, the things that I was reading as a kid, it is like some of them, they're very traumatizing stories. Not many of them had a happy ending or even a happy title. But here we are, I turned out to be this bundle of joy and ray of sunshine that you all know and love. Hello everyone, welcome back. How's everybody doing? Okay, so I was saying in my previous video, this year I would like to film just, random stuff that really bring me joy. And I was thinking recently of the books that I read in childhood that really, really brought me joy. And I would like to share those books with you. When I was a child, I did like to read stories. And there is one particular book that I read, I think like 5 times, until my sister said like, hey, just let it go. We have other books. Just go read something else. So yeah, I would like to share my childhood favorite books and things that really, really brought me joy as a child. And maybe you can share with me the things that you like to read as a kid and the things that you like to do. So yeah, let's start. I do have a couple of them here, and the others I'm just going to insert like a photo of them because I don't have them here. I do have a list. Let me see if I can find it. Because yeah, I work with lists. Like that's the way that I do stuff. Like I need paper. I don't like digital writing, so I'm old-fashioned, you can say. Anyway, so let's start with my favorite book, the one that my sister made me stop reading, and this is Heidi. I bought this book specifically for this video. This is not the full version of it because it's edited, like it only has the important stuff in it, but I really love this book. I read this 5 times when I was a child. I have this habit where I watch movies several times if I like them, or books or songs, or anyway. So Heidi, this was my favorite book. Recently I got it out of the library and I think it was edited. The one thing that stands out in this book is the grandpa. He is a grumpy guy, and on the other version of the book that I got, he was like this pleasant guy that had nothing to say. No, don't do that. Don't edit the books. Don't edit the character just to make them more, enjoyable and easier to digest. This is a grumpy grandpa. So I bought the 2009 edition of this book. I want to get the full version of this because I love it and I want to read it again and again. So this is my first one, my favorite book. Second, again, this is the book series that I read many, many times. It is, of course, Harry Potter. I think I've read this like 5 times and I listened to the audiobooks another 5 times. I like the Stephen Fry version of the books. I got this book set from some friends. I think they were living in Switzerland at that time. They had a contest on their blog and I won, and they knew that I liked Harry Potter and I still have it. It's one of the best presents that I ever got. So yay, I just love them. Of course, these are like in pristine condition because I didn't really took them out to read them. I like to keep my books in like a good condition and I don't borrow the books that I love. So yes, I love these books. I'm 33 almost and I still watch Harry Potter. I still read and listen to the audiobooks. So if you have a problem with that, feel free to just click like the X button there on the top right corner. Thank you. Cheers. If that sounds mean, maybe I'm a little mean, who knows. Next on the list, this book here. This is called In the Grandparents' House, In Casa Bunicilor. The author is Ionel Teodoreanu, and I remember reading this book when I was home, both me and my sister, and it is very, very funny. It's about a nephew that goes, living with his grandparents, and yeah, I really love this one. Okay, the next one is a book that I have special memories tied to. This one here. This is called The Death of My Brother, Moartea fratelui meu. This is the book that my sister made me read out loud. I have an older sister. It's a 5-year difference between us. Hey sis, if you're watching, love you. She was the nerdy kid in school. Again, if you're listening, it's the truth, okay? She was the nerdy kid in school, so she made me read out loud because I had no intonation. Like, I didn't know where to put in the dot at the end of the sentence, or the comma, or whatever. And I remember sobbing and reading this book, and she was very mean to me, like, yeah, continue reading because you don't know how to read. And so I feel like I'm tied to this book. The title is very grim because but yeah, I like this book. I haven't read it in a long time. I don't think I've ever finished this book, and I want to do that now. But yeah. Anyway, moving forward. The other books, I don't have them here, so I'm just gonna insert a photo of them. We have a very popular author in Romania. His name is Ion Creangă, and he has a book. It's Memories from Childhood. He's telling stories from when he was a kid, living in the part of the country called Moldova. And again, it's like a super funny book because he was a very mischievous child, and it's very, very popular. Also, this guy is writing some very interesting and creepy stories. Like, one of our most beloved children's story is called The Goat and Her 3 Kids, and it's about a goat that goes out to buy food, and the wolf comes in and he eats 2 of her kids, and the little one survives, and then the goat wants to get revenge on this wolf, and she invites him over for a meal, to celebrate or commemorate the death, not celebrate, geez, commemorate the death of her 2 kids. And basically she lights him on fire and he dies. That's a children's story, by the way. There is a horror movie made out of this book. I'm gonna link the trailer below if you're interested in having a browse through some Romanian childhood children's stories. So anyway, what's the other one? I read a lot of like Grimm Brothers tales, fairy tales, and I remember reading the original version of like Snow White, if you know how that ends, Cinderella. What was the other one? I think there were other books that I read that didn't have the good happy ending that Disney made them out to have. But yeah, I loved reading those books. I remember I had like a huge book of fairy tales I got from school. And what else? And the other one, I think the last one on the list, I remember reading, I think twice. It was called Alone in the World, Singur pe lume. This is a French author. His name is Hector Malo. And it's about a child that is being sent away from home because his parents weren't able to sustain him anymore, and he finds out that he wasn't actually his child. His father found him when he was a tiny baby and brought him home, and he goes out with a guy that he's like a performer. He has 3 dogs and a monkey. I think his name is Vitalis. And from there, like, a bunch of stuff happens to this boy. And it's horrifying to think that your parents would just give you away, or the people that raise you would just give you away. So apparently now, thinking of the things that I was reading as a kid, it is like some of them, they're very traumatizing stories. Not many of them had a happy ending or even a happy title. But here we are, me. I turned out to be this bundle of joy and ray of sunshine that you all know and love. These are the books that brought me a lot of joy, and they still bring me a lot of joy. Leave me a comment. What's the book that you most love when you're a kid? Just count how many times I say child in this video. And I'm very curious to know, are there any Harry Potter millennials in the comments watching? Who's your favorite character? I'm not gonna tell you yet, but I'm very curious about who's your favorite character. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Give me a like if you like this video, maybe leave me a comment, and if you want to see me again, subscribe. Thank you. I will see you later. Bye.